So we are back here inside of the kitchen and we are here on the floor. So what we're going to be doing this week is we are going to be decluttering and organizing, maybe even cleaning a little bit up our kitchen. We're going to be taking the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to go through the different cabinets on individual days. So it's a possibility that I may run through more than one cabinet on a particular day. This right here, the one I'm going to start on, and I'm sure a lot of you have the same thing. This is all the plastic stuff. This is like your Tupperware or those, they're like plastic reusable Ziploc containers. That's what this is. So I'm going to be pulling everything out and then putting it all back in and looking and making sure I have lids for things and stuff like that. And I want to tell you a little bit about what happened to me yesterday. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put 15-minute timer here, and I say we just jump right into it. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about my yesterday. It was kind of crazy. So it actually happened the night before, and I'm just taking everything out, putting it on the ground, and then I will put it all back. So let's see. Yesterday was Monday for me. Yesterday was Monday, and so the night before on Sunday, I went over to my neighbor's house, and we were doing like this family get together, right? And when I was cooking, because I was making soy glazed pork inside my Instapot. And I got done and I'm like, man, it seems kind of warm in here. Why is this so warm? I looked and it was 75. I usually keep my house at 73. So to me, I'm very temperature sensitive. Just a few degrees and I feel it. My nose feels it. Everything in my body feels it. And I was like, man, it's just warm. So I didn't think anything of it. I went next door and I had fun. It was a good time. And I came back and it was 76. I'm like, okay, oh, all right, that's weird, but okay. I think I left there around 9, maybe 10, but again, I didn't think much of it. I started to watch a TV show, not sure what it was, and I went to bed. Well, for whatever reason, I woke up early. I just, my body's weird and I wake up early. And I noticed it was 77 in here. I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good. So at that point, I knew something is really wrong with my air conditioner. I decided I was going to turn it off and leave it off because, it's nighttime. It's not going to get that much warmer. And I woke up early. I think it was probably about, 6 in the morning. And it's like, okay, well, I've gone through this before, so let's go through some of the troubleshooting steps. Now, for context, I have an upstairs. I have 2 air conditioners in my house. I have one that controls my upstairs, and I have one that controls my downstairs. And this was my downstairs. So every month, and I found this out the hard way, but every month you're supposed to go and put vinegar and like warm water in your air conditioner pipe. I don't know what it's called. I'll probably go and show you at some point. I think I have a video on here somewhere where I did it, but you're kind of running it through your air conditioner to just like make sure it doesn't get clogged up. So I thought I had done that this month, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it again. I know that, so this eye right here has just been giving me a fit. It's constantly, it's like, I'm not crying, but it's watering. So it's like, okay, well, you know what? I know I'm not due to go and change my filter for another month. It's one of those 3-month ones, but I'm just going to do it again. I'm just going to change the filter, run the vinegar, the water, leave it off for like an hour, try the air conditioner again. and it didn't work. It didn't, it's like it wasn't blowing. It's like, okay, well, that's weird. Like the fan, I think, was running because I could hear it turn on, but nothing was happening. Like, okay, well, let's go outside and take a look. Not that I know what I'm looking at, because I don't. But when the air conditioner had stopped before, I had noticed that it had like ice around it. So I went outside to look for ice and see if it was freezing up or whatever it's doing out there. And there was no ice. I put my hand over the air conditioner unit, and the one for the upstairs was blowing hot air up, and the one for the downstairs, the air coming up was cooler. I'm like, okay, so I know a little something about that. I don't know what any of the terms are, but I know how an air conditioner works in a car, and I figure it's probably about the same. So the way that that works, and you probably know this already, but my brain says, say it. Um, it doesn't actually like cool. It actually takes the hot air and brings it towards like this cooling thing. And then, and I know I must sound really stupid, but I don't know what any of this stuff is called. So the hot air gets attracted to this thing, and it like sucks the hot air in. And what's left is then you have a fan or something that blows the cool air away from, yeah, that. So I knew that something was wrong with that. So I didn't know if there was like a liquid that had to be put in or who knows what, right? But I knew it wasn't something that I knew what was going on. So I called the air conditioning company, and they said they were going to be out in the afternoon. Why am I telling you all this? Well, there's a reason. So they said that they were going to be out after 12. Okay, cool. Well, was it really cool? No, it was hot downstairs. It got to be at its hottest 77. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do anything productive and active downstairs. So I knew I couldn't make a video yesterday. But here's why I wanted to go and talk about this today. Because old me would have been like freaking out because what am I going to do? I have so much I want to do. Everything is downstairs. Everything I want to do is downstairs, but it's too hot to be downstairs. But then I'd be like freaking out about it all day long. Well, this is one of those times. Remember how I said that I like to be in control, and when I'm not in control or something deviates me away from what I think is going to happen, that's where I was. And yesterday, I just said, you know what? I guess today's going to be one of those days that I'm not going to be able to get done what I wanted to get done. So let's do something else that brings me joy. So that's what I did. All right, so I've taken everything out. I know it took me longer than I wanted to. I have 7 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and now start taking a look and trying to put things back in an orderly fashion. This shouldn't take as long as me taking it out, though. I bought these like reusable food storage containers because I've been cooking a lot, and I'll be telling you a little bit more about those. I think this week I might actually tell you a little bit about my HelloFresh, and so when I do, I'll actually package it up. That's what I do. If there's any extra, I'll put it inside one of those and put it in the refrigerator. So I'll probably tell you about that. But I decided I was going to do something. You know what? Let's just do something for my soul, so to speak. Let's do something that I would enjoy. And I decided to spend the day, while I waited, up in my room. So I had a whole day in my bed. It was pretty awesome, not gonna lie. I have a TV up there, and I'm trying to think when I started it. So I think That's what it was. When I came home from our little get together over at my neighbor's, I started watching The Good Place. I have a list of TV shows and movies that I haven't seen before that I wanted to watch, or maybe I wasn't able to finish the series. So I'm running through that list, and The Good Place was on it. So if you have any recommendations on maybe TV shows that you like or movies that you think I should watch, then let me know, because I'm looking at them, like typing it up on like IMDb or something, seeing what it's about, and if it is something that I think that I'll like, then I'll watch it. So I started watching The Good Place, and I think I must have gone through like 3 or 4 episodes because they're only 30 minutes. And so that's kind of what I did yesterday is I watched The Good Place. I watched it even after the air was on. I went back upstairs and I still watched more Good Place. It is really good. Each episode is only 30 minutes, which is great because you can actually run through those episodes fairly quickly. But I love the storyline. Oh my gosh, I love the storyline. And it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like there's a lot of lessons that I've learned in my life that they're putting in the Good Place show. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I literally went through something just like that. So that's pretty cool. Another show that I started watching, and I only watched 1 episode the night that I went over to my neighbor's house, and that's Ragnarok. It's the Netherlands or Sweden, but it's like Norse mythology. But with that, it's they have it dubbed, so which I don't mind. I watch stuff with subtitles on anyway, because that way, if people are making sound, then I still know what's going on. And sometimes you get more information from a show in the subtitles than you do just listening to it. So that's pretty cool. So I watched an episode of that. I think I got through 2 more episodes yesterday. Those are an hour long, but they're only like 6 episodes a season. So, you know. All right. I'm doing good. Here's where the decluttering is coming in. So I had bought these Rubbermaid, like they're storage things, but they're like compartmentalized. So I have tons of these, but I don't use them. So I think this is where I am going to say no, and I'm going to declutter them because I do not use them at all. So yeah, it was really kind of nice just to kind of have a day to myself, to not really do a lot, but just do something that, I don't know, sparks some joy. And it honestly, yesterday was a fantastic day. I mean, as crazy as that is, I had it. I had a fantastic day. Even though the air was broken, even though I spent money that I did not plan on, um, I looked at taking that potentially bad experience, and I changed my outlook on it, and it ended up being one of the best days I've had in a hot minute. I know it sounds silly, but that was my experience. So if you find that you are running into a potentially bad situation, oh wow, so I just had an epiphany. Whenever I would go in and teach people, I was a trainer at a call center, and one of the things that I used to tell them is, it's not the problem that's the problem. It's your reaction to the problem that's the problem. So it's not always the situation itself, but what are you going to take? How are you going to respond to that problem that is the problem? because you can always go into it with woe is me, negative, um, why the heck do things keep happening to me like this? Or you can say, okay, you know what, this really sucks. And yeah, it's definitely a crappy situation that I'm in right now, but you know what, let's do something different. Let's change our attitude about this, and let's try to make this into a slightly better experience. I mean, obviously you can't do that with everything because there's just some really crap stuff that happens. But before you jump down the woe is me train, maybe take a look and see if this is one of those situations that you can change your outlook and see if it can't change your day. All right, I have lots of lids. So my daughter uses these square bowls to make ramen with, and that's her bowl of choice. Well, we don't need the lids for them because we never use them. But I did save some of those lids because sometimes I will use the bowls to save something. That's 15 minutes. I talked a lot. I'm sorry. I'm going to finish taking this stuff and putting it in here, and I'll show you what I'm working with. So that was my experience yesterday. What I wanted to do was this. I knew I was going to come down here and I was going to go through these cabinets. I've done them before. So I knew that was definitely something that I wanted to get accomplished, but I didn't know that was going to happen. So it will be okay. When I go into these videos, many times I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So the silver lining of the situation is I had something to talk to you about for 15 minutes. And hopefully it was something that you get benefit from as well. All right, let me go ahead and show you what I did. All right, so this is my cabinet. This is the top and that is the bottom. So as you can see, I do have the containers. I was talking about the square ones that my daughter uses for her ramen right there. And up top is some of the other containers that I use to package up meals. I did keep the plastic on up here because I will be making a whole review video for it. This is the aftermath of all this stuff that I'm going to get rid of because I don't need it. So today I got accomplished the Tupperware drawer cabinet thing. And we talked about how taking a potentially bad situation and looking for how we can turn our attitude around towards it actually made potentially a really rough day into a really great day. So that's something that I challenge you to do. And the next time that you have something bad or unexpected happen, how can you turn that into a more positive? And see what that does to how you react and maybe even the others around you. I think the next video that we're going to do is going to end up being our pots and pans because I didn't get to it. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.